Give me a second. Why is the control volume? All right. Everything seems to be on. Cool. Alrighty. I think we're good. Anyway, so this is Lord Slime. I'm sorry the lighting isn't super great, but you can see the top, which is what I'll be working on right now. Anyway, yeah, so this is made with monster clay. That's a half of a ping pong ball. Cut a ping pong ball in half, filled it with monster clay, and that's how I have a nice, well, relatively smooth eye. I feel like it's got some nicks that I might need to sand down, which will be somewhat problematic, but we'll see. So this is like, I use a few different tools. I don't know, I haven't really learned how to sculpt. I mean, it's one of those things that's like, you know, you say you're self-taught, but like, you watch videos and stuff, and so I should say I'm not formally trained in sculpture. But I kind of use a mixture of stuff. I have like these nail art tools, apparently. I think that's what they're for. I have a kind of ceramic wire tool. And then I use like rake tools, and like, this is one I made out of guitar strings. Heavy gauge guitar, electric guitar strings, epoxy, and then like brass fitted pipes. It's sort of the same thing as this. But I bought this rake / double rake tool to see how much better it was than what I could make myself. And the I don't know, I think it's better. If I had still a bunch of guitar strings, I might, I don't know if I would buy it, but anyway, so at this point, I'm doing a lot of just like, I got a lot of the major forms in. He looks pretty gloopy. The interesting thing is I have these arms, and I'm trying to figure out, like, this has so many different rotations that I'm thinking I might have to cut right here so it can be cast in 2 pieces. This one, I think I can do in 1. I think what I might do is see if I can figure out and do a 3-part mold for this, like a 1, 2, 3, or like 1, 2, 3. I don't know. And so I can cast these first, so I don't have to cut through it. And then that would actually make sawing through the resin cast that I would make with that a little bit easier. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I really know enough. So I'm probably gonna, before I attempt either of those parts, I'll probably talk to other sculptors who like know much more than I do. So a lot of this is just like, I mean, it's pretty high fidelity now, but it could be a lot cleaner. I was talking to at Monsterpalooza. I was talking to a sculptor from a Nordic country, and he was mentioning how he has to use monster clay soft because it's so cold, and it's like the temperature, the climate that you sculpt in with this, because it's like a wax-based solvent, or I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a wax-based clay, they say, or solvent-based clay. I don't know, but heat actually can melt it, and so it's this interesting thing where, like, monster clay hard for me is like pretty firm, and then as soon as you hold it in your hand, it gets all soft. You can actually like microwave the tubs of it when you're working with it like super fresh, or you're, you know, kind of first just scooping out of the tub and blocking in a form. So like you can, like, eventually, I don't think I'll get to it at this point, but I do have a alcohol torch, which I can use to, like, I hit this with a flame and it'll melt it and like smooth it out. So when we get to that point, there might be fire. But at this point, I'm still trying to just make sure that all of the drips like look like drips, and it is a two-part head. So the idea is there's actually going to be a hole up here and a crown that sits on top, and so it's kind of like the old slime toys of the 80s where you would put this on, and then he has this little tentacle arms, and then you could pour slime into his crown, and then it'll ooze out of his mouth is like the plan. So it's kind of like a, you know, the Ooze It toys, or like the He-Man slime pit from Masters of the Universe, or I guess Hordak slime pit from Masters of the Universe franchise. The Ghostbusters Slimer toy, and like all of that kind of thing. Back from the 1980s and 90s. Probably in the 90s, actually. Because that's when I was a wee little lad collecting slime toys. I remember the Ghostbusters, or the best slime was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mutagenic ooze. That stuff was like super gross. It was the most like, I think it was the thinnest, and so it still had all the properties of slime. It would like stretch over and stuff, but it came out like really wet. Like, I don't know. It's like its own special formula. Like Gak, if you ever played with like Nickelodeon slime, that's like, or the slime that you see, like all the sparkles and stuff that like kids do nowadays, I feel like really thick slime. Not super interesting to me. I want the stuff that looks like it's from Aliens or something. Anyway, today's kombucha, you can see it in 2 cameras simultaneously. No, not a kind of better booch, golden pear. You can see it in this one. Now you can see it in this one. That's what I'm doing tonight. Anyway, don't look at my desk. No. I'm messy. I don't have a lot of room, and I have a lot of stuff. Okay. I think, I don't know, I kind of want to add, so there's like this, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, like that slime piece. I kind of want to have it like start a little bit higher. So there's kind of like a fine line between like with a something organic like this, you can get away with a lot in terms of just like you could actually make a base and then pour on the molten or like hot melted monster clay. And that's how I got some of the shapes, and then a lot of the shapes though have been kind of carved out or sculpted to read better. Because you're like, oh, it's interesting that like the clay moved in a certain way, and while accurate, it doesn't always fit like the sense of design that I'm looking for. What I mean by that is there's kind of like this idealized like slimeness quality that I'm trying to capture. I think the light's making it really hard for you to see anything, unless I'm sculpting like up here. And I'm sculpting down here in the shadows, so I don't know if you can actually see anything. I'm sorry. Oh wait, I might have another light. Nope. Stuff is falling over. Oh, here we go. This is like way too bright. I need like a sheet of paper or something. I literally have like this light and I'm just like wrapping it in paper, so I guess maybe you can see a little bit better. Still has a cast shadow right here in the angle of the camera. But yeah. So the other thing is, as I'm preparing this for molding and casting, I'm also making sure I don't have any too sharp of an edge. I think I've done the whole top. Oh yeah, see, like I have to see how this is like a legit cavity. Wait, sorry, wrong screen. Yeah, see how dark that is? That's like a legit space. Like you don't want to have a whole lot of really sharp edges like that in your pieces. Especially if you're considering vinyl output. I mean, like, it's not gonna make or break it. It might just not. Like, it depends if that's a detail that you actively want, or if it's just like sort of an accident. Like, I want this to eventually be a vinyl, so I'm also thinking about just making it easy for myself and painting later. I'm not, well, I'm going to soften this part now, and then we'll see if I want to keep that same shape. other thing I should have done is I should have made sure that this and these two planes match up first. Like they're not 100% perfect. So once I get most of this work done, there might still be some shaving off to do. Like I kind of want it to sit a little bit higher, meaning I probably have to shave off some of this back area. Or, I mean, this also looks a little bit higher too. You can see it slopes down. So I could probably shave this back part and it might sit a little bit more like how I want it to. Or if you're working in 3D, you would just like not have to worry about this, but I'm not working in 3D, digital 3D, I'm working in traditional 3D. Alright. I think I need to actually build up that area a little bit. So like this is, it's pretty hard stuff, but like once you start like just kneading it, like the body heat softens it up. Put this head to the side. I don't know if you can see all of like, see how deep these cavities are, like right there. And like if you just look at the profile, they're really sharp. And while that, I mean, like, that's accurate, doesn't make for easy toy making. Yeah, once you start, like, making toys, you start realizing, like, what's hard to get and what's easy to get. Like, that's like, for example, on this toy, this is by Sun Guts. Check out this badass toy, I love this. Its head spins around, so it has, like, different eyes here. There's, like, doll eyes in this one, you can see kind of, but like if you look at the monster teeth, do you see how they're all like like you don't have a cavity for the actual mouth. You just paint that black, and you paint the teeth a brighter color. And it's kind of like, you know, like the teeth aren't out and they're not sharp. It's sort of all like the tooth has been like cut in half, and then there's like the back of the mouth. Because doing teeth like that individually is just like a crap ton of work. You'd have to make individual molds for that kind of thing. It's just like a lot of extra work that no one wants to do. So now this is like, I don't know. I'm looking at like the actual form. I feel like I want to redo this section. Maybe tidy up there. But for the most part, I like how this is going. I just now have to make it easier to cast. And like the easier to cast thing is really about like air pockets or like physical parts getting stuck. And it's like, it might not even really affect the cast, but I don't know, I kind of want it to be as smooth of a transition from the get-go as possible. There we go. Right now I'm just trying to smooth this one area down a little bit. Probably too early for me to break this out, but so dicey it's bothering me. And this rake tool, you can see it's just like picking up little bits of clay here and there. It's like the really fine wires of the guitar string basically smooth out. Or that's kind of the purpose, is just smooth stuff out, right? See, there's like that big weird shape here, I don't want there to be. I want that just to be a smooth thing, so it's kind of like sanding, you can think of it. Or like, you know, you're using a rasp to like file down something. Same concept. And I should do like the whole thing, but to be honest, I'm probably going to be touching this a lot too as I work on the rest of the sculpture, so like I'm going to have to fix it later too. Yeah, see how deep of a shadow that makes? I'll have to just smooth that out. And I'm keeping the area around where the arm joints are going to be open. Not going to mess with that. Fitting that little rope into this crease and sort of burnishing, kind of smooth it down so it blends into this form. As much as possible. That's like a really deep hole too, right here. And right there. Just realized I should probably put something on here to like raise it up a little bit, so let's see if I have something. Oh, I know. This is so precarious. I have no room at my desk. Like building infrastructure as we go here. I was hoping to have like a sea clamp or something, just be like, chomp, hook this light to you. I was like, if I don't diffuse it, can I bounce it off my chest so there's enough light? Almost, but then I can't see it. Super interesting. Like, this gives me enough light to see, but I think it like blows it out for the camera. Sorry, I think it blows it out for the camera. I was just thinking how hard it must be to sculpt with one hand. And I was like, yeah, I guess you gotta figure out. There we go. I don't even know if you could see that battle I was fighting. Oh, it's right off the screen, goddammit. Don't worry about it. I was fighting an epic battle to get this worm to attach to the clay. And couldn't even see it, doesn't matter. Alright. I think that, I don't know. I think I'm gonna call it early since it seems to be pretty quiet. So yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty. I'm gonna call it. Thanks. I'll catch you later. Peace out. Bye bye.